This Mogamulizumab, anti-CCR4 monoclonal antibodies, extremely important because it is the first, if approved, indication in the US for any condition. And we're very excited that the Maverick study has concluded, giving very positive results and have been submitted to the FDA. And I got delayed coming here because the FDA just audited the lead center, and it was very well done, and the results are outstanding and very validated by the FDA, at least at our center. I would like to make sure that I credit the international community and all of the family and patients that have participated in this study up front, and I represent all of them. The target for this Mogamulizumab, the is chemokine receptor 4, CCR4, and it plays a very important immune balance role in life. It's expressed in Th2 and Treg cells, and it is involved in trafficking of T lymphocytes actually to the skin and other organs. It is also highly overexpressed and consistently so in ATL, PTCL, and cutaneous T-cell lymphoma, and thus the subject of this antibody. And Mogamulizumab is a Fc bioengineered enhanced. It removes the defucosylated antibody that augments the antibody-dependent cell cytotoxicity, which is the mechanism of this antibody. It was based on the phase 1 to 2 study in CTCL that was already conducted in the US with a very promising efficacy profile of 37% overall response. And in this disease, it is a very good response rate because all the FDA-approved drugs are in the 30% range. And also 95% response in the skin, the blood. So the blood compartments appears to have good response. Encouraging results led to the phase 3 randomized controlled trial Maverick, which was completed and subject of this presentation, and the primary endpoint is progression-free survival. It is the largest study ever in CTCL to be randomized and have PFS as an endpoint. The eligibility was stage 1B to 4 with confirmed diagnosis, and you have to have at least one prior therapy. Patients with large cell transformation was excluded. Patients was randomized 1-to-1 to Mogamulizumab and to Vorinostat. Mogamulizumab was given 1 milligram per kilo IV. It's given weekly in the first month, and it goes to every 2 weeks thereafter. And both arms were treated until disease progression, or if Vorinostat group has intolerable toxicity or progresses, there is a one-way crossover to get the active drug, Mogamulizumab. Patients in the Vorinostat was treated accordingly to the U.S. prescribed guidelines. It is an approved drug in the U.S. for this CTCL. There were CCR4 expression level was not required for eligibility for this study, and about 60 centers across 11 countries were involved in the study. The primary endpoint, as I mentioned, is PFS, using a very vigorous, comprehensive, composite, global. You have to group all the compartments together to have a response. And the key secondary endpoints included ORR, duration of response, and patient-reported quality of life, as well as the crossover response and safety. And there were independent review groups that had reviewed the investigator data. The two arms in Mogamulizumab and Vorinostat were very well balanced. In total, 372, 186 each were enrolled. And as I said, this is the largest US study for this orphan disease. Took over 3 years to enroll. The two groups are very well balanced in terms of stage, MF versus Sézary syndrome, and the median prior therapy was 3, systemic treatment. This is the primary endpoint, which was 7.7 months in the Moga and the 3.1 month in the Vorinostat, with a strikingly impressive superior result in Mogamulizumab with a p-value of 0.0001. Also, the overall response rate in the MOGA was about 30%, with vorinostat only 5%. In the Sézary syndrome, the response rate is higher as expected, 37% over vorinostat of only 2%. And these are confirmed global composite response of all the compartments: skin, lymph node, blood, viscera. They're all integrated into this response criteria. So it's not just skin response. Duration of response is expected greater in mogamulizumab, and the quality of life was much better in the mogamulizumab arm. So in summary, this is the first report of a randomized phase 3 study evaluating the PFS as a primary endpoint in CTCL to compare a new systemic therapy against an FDA-approved agent utilizing a consensus comprehensive global response criteria. Mogamulizumab, a novel CCR4 targeting antibody therapy, demonstrated significantly superior efficacy outcomes compared to vorinostat in patients with previously treated CTCL. The PFS, 7.7 months versus 3.0 months, was p-value of 0.001 significance. Overall response was again highly superior with similar striking significance of 28 versus 5%. Patient-reported outcome using the tools that are used, Skindex-29 FACT2, were demonstrated significant improvement in mogamulizumab arm. And overall safety profile, there was no surprises in the mogamulizumab. It is approved in Japan for ATL, PTCL, and CTCL in Japan. Thus, it has been used there, and there was no new surprising AE profiles that was detected in this randomized trial. And vorinostat was as well. And any side effect was very manageable. The study supports mogamulizumab as a valuable new therapeutic option in the patients with CTCL. And we're very excited, and we hope that this drug will be approved early next year to add to the limited options that we have in our patient population. Thank you.